This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, well, we take a Defiler. I mean, they're all really strong. I think the only uncommon you take over like this Defiler is probably Wingmantle Chaplain, so... This is a strong pack in general, though. Defiler is what we're going to take. It's got great stats, pings things, etc. But the Brawler and Lightning Strike, also really good. And as is Tolarian Geyser, so yeah. I don't think the red Defiler is the best one. Certainly not in Limited. The green one definitely is. It's like head and shoulders above the rest. Okay. Do love me some Keldon Strike Team. Basically this format has aggressive decks and dirtily domain decks, and most of the battles are between those kinds of decks. The domain decks can overpower you late. The aggressive decks can overpower you early. And it's kind of weird to be anything in between. And red-white is one of the good aggressive decks. That said, I think we probably just take the Battle Hymn. I mean, it's too good. It's great removal. I think we take it over Strike Team. LSL Core is pretty great. If we want to lean in an aggressive direction, Colt Conscript, pretty impressive. Great one-drop that can really do a bunch of damage and refuses to die. LSL Core does a lot of incidental damage. Tolarian Terror is good if you end up in a spell-heavy enough deck. I'm kind of leaning towards this Colt Conscript at this point. Yeah. I do think LSL Core is better, and we could just take it and speculate on it. But our first two red cards are so good that I'm not super interested in doing that. We'll just take a Conscript. Okay. So, here we have a Tail Swipe. We've also got Battle Wing Mystic. Both of those are quite good. I'm happy with either of them. Don't hate, Miria's Outrider is pretty good in the right deck, as is Amplifier. These are good more broadly. So, yeah. Which of these do we want? I think I like the Mystic a little more than Tail Swipe. Just the ability to reload late is pretty nice. This is not a very good rare. And this is kind of a medium pack in general. Might take the Atrocity. There's enough little things you can do with it if we end up black-red. This is probably where we go. It's not exciting, but it's fine. Okay, so Necromass isn't bad. Tributary could be useful. I do like Griffin Protector. Yeah, I mean, you need lots of creatures for this. And these lands are interesting. I mean, the Steel Crusher's not bad. Protector probably is better, but I guess I'll just probably take a Steel Crusher here. Feels like black-red aggro, but I could see us shifting into like a blue-red spell deck. Doesn't feel like we're going to be in a domain deck at this point, but things can change. Okay, so speaking of blue-red spells, we have two pretty good cards for that deck here. We've got a couple of lands that work for us too. Yeah. I think we go with Interference. I mean, the Interference is better in a broader variety of decks. The Amplifier is only good if you're like straight up red-blue, and I don't know that we're going to be. Another Steel Crusher. These white cards are pretty good. Might jump into a white card here over, a couple of medium cards in our colors. There is a Vine Wall here, which is pretty good. So, yeah, I think I'm going to take Reinforcements here, see what happens. Maybe it means white's open. Pretty late coral colony, you know. I might spend a speculative pick on it here just in case we open a Wingmantle Chaplain. Plus, it's not like a disaster to play. These black cards are good, but they're not great. Same with Impede Momentum. You have to be in blue-red, basically. I think I'm going to take a colony here and see what happens. We are a little all over the place so far, but that's okay. That is okay. Two best cards are still our first two picks, so... Okay. I think we take Aaron. There's not like a great chance we end up in black-white, but you know, it's way more powerful than any of this stuff, so we'll take Aaron. Gonna be sad if we don't get to play our Defiler. At least it'll be easy to splash a Battle Hymn. Like if we end up somewhere else, but... Alright, so I think we're finally going to take a Necromass here. I do think Juniborder Rootweaver is better, but it's not super likely we end up in white. And Necromass, if we end up with enough creatures, it's perfectly fine. Alright, so time for a speculative Shield Wall Sentinel now, too. So if we see a Wingmate Chaplain, we're like in business, so that's kind of nice. Like at any point in this draft. And here's another one. Okay. So that means there was not a Wingmantle Chaplain in this pack for anybody. We'll put these in here for now, but yeah. So Lord, Elf Lord, not particularly good. You have to get a lot of elves, hard to do. Niall is quite good, but, you know, doesn't feel to me like that's where we're headed. Yeah, this is not a super impressive pack overall. I mean, pack one, pick one, I would take Niall. The Bulwark, not terrible. I do think it's a pretty good build around for the Defender deck, but you have to have the Chaplain or your deck's not good. So that's why I don't love like picking one up here, even though we already have, you know, Shield Wall Sentinels and a Coral Colony. It's just not enough. Just have to throw a Chaplain in and it's a deck, but we don't have it here. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll go Captain's Call in the end. I'm not sure if we're going to end up going wide enough, but yeah. Okay, so Rona's Vortex is excellent. It's probably just what we're going to take here. We do need to pick somewhere to go at some point in this draft, but for now, I think we just take another Vortex. Another Vortex. A Vortex. Seems like maybe blue-red could be where we end up. This isn't really a reason to like decide that we're going to be blue-red overall. It's, you know, it's fine. You'll play it every time you're in blue-red, but it's not really something you go after early. Impulse is always nice. Singer Connoisseur is not bad, especially if we end up like black-white. Land, not terrible either. I'm sort of leaning Impulse. Just doesn't seem like red's open enough, as sad as that is. I could take a Dragon Whelp and try to make it work. And maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. It's not like it's not really good. Yeah, we'll take a Whelp. Blue-black Signpost Uncommon is pretty good. I don't love the blue-black deck. You know, I was talking about how you're either like a domain deck or an aggro deck, and it's usually neither. So it's kind of awkward in the format. I don't think it's terrible. If, you know, if she wheels, I think we'd probably take her, but... yeah... Tribute to Urborg is probably the best card in this pack. Maybe we end up blue-black. I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll take the Tribute. It's been hard to read signals in this particular draft. It seems like everything's all over the place. All right, so I think we take a Kavu here. Okay. So, this may get me to lean into red-blue a little bit. It probably does. Like, Splashing Tribute would be good. But yeah, I think we take an Amplifier here. So, we will take Najal now. Problem is, we only have 4 instants right now, but hopefully we can add to that. But yeah, I don't feel like this draft has gone super well. Another Amplifier helps. Definitely need more spells, though. Pack 3 is going to be about grabbing a bunch of instants. Hope we don't play a Sea Scavenger. Okay. So, Impede Momentum's something we might want. The Bulwark is something that could also be pretty nice for us if we end up going that route. But I guess we'll just take an Impede. It is a spell, after all. All right, we'll take Sacred Peaks. Okay, Academy Wall's not terrible. And again, we're in really great position if we sing a Wingmate Chaplain. We just grab it. It's that simple. And for that reason, kind of think we grab a Drawbridge. Okay. And then we open a Rith. That's a little annoying. When that, you were like, sort of, maybe in some of those colors, and then you're like, nah. And I think it's too late now. We don't have enough fixing to just make it work, so we won't. But there are good things in this pack. We have a Hurloon Battle Hymn and a Tolarian Terror, namely. I think we probably take another Hymn. The Terror right now isn't actually that good in our deck. We need more spells, or it's not going to be very good. And I guess I could take it, and maybe it's easier to get more spells than it is this powerful spell payoff. But the Battle Hymn is just so good that I have a hard time wanting to do that. Evolved Sleeper is really good, of course. All right, we'll take an Essence Scatter here. Add to our spell count. We want a land that makes black mana, but also blue or red. That would be nice. Okay, Phosphorus Strider is a nice pickup. I'm a little worried we're in that no man's land where maybe we're not going to be aggressive enough. Probably don't play Coral Colony unless a Wingmantle Chaplain appears, but... Another Essence Scatter. It's also an Espionage. Thrill of Possibility is not bad in this type of deck either. The thing about Essence Scatter is it's harder to get value out of amplifiers with it, but it's been pretty good in this format overall. So is Espionage, but I kind of think another Scatter's better. I think we're up now to 7 instants and 1 sorcery, which is pretty good. Got a Geyser if we want another spell. A couple of decent aggressive creatures. It's probably just the Geyser, though. Okay, man, there were 2 missionaries here. Makes me kind of wish we'd gone black-white if we saw 2 missionaries. I think we take a Talus Lookout here. Do I want a Kavu or a Shore Up? Kind of leaning Shore Up. You know, having one or two of these is usually pretty nice in basically every deck in the format. You know, that's blue anyway. Okay, so another Whelp or a Fire NATO. Kind of seems like Whelp. Like, it gives us a finisher of sorts. Not the most exciting one in the world, but it does do the job. I mean, we'd have a bunch of double blue and double red at the top of our curve, which is not awesome, especially because we just have one Sacred Peaks. But yeah. Okay, we get a Terror in the end. That's actually really good news, I think. Didn't really think that one was going to wheel. Mana Worker would let us pay some of our kickers a little better, like Tribute to Urborg, which right now isn't even going to make our deck, actually. It's not just a kicker. So the Mana Worker doesn't enable it. Probably just take a picker. I mean, it's not likely we play any of them, but, you know. Another Terror would be cool. Seems unlikely, though. Yeah, you know, I think we pivoted, unfortunately, probably significantly later than we should have. There was earlier in the draft where we could have had a lot more of these 2-drops that like spells, which is sort of the key to this deck. And we don't have that many of them. We're a spell deck for sure, but I think we're going to win with, like, you know, flyers and cards that maybe don't do anything with spells, so... We still play the Vortex, even though we have 0 ways to kick it, incidentally. It's a good card anyway. I mean, I would like to be able to kick it, of course. I would take a Grotto or whatever they are. Okay, so we'll take a Thrill here. I kind of doubt the first Illusionist makes the cut, so... Alright, I like the Kavu here. It's a nice little beater. You know, doesn't do anything with spells, but... Yeah, the Illusionist can give me black, it's true, but I don't think it's probably worth playing. Like, especially because we can't kick it. All it is a 1-mana 1/1 that is mediocre at fixing, and I don't think that's enough. We're not desperate enough. We don't have any cards. You know, the only card we have that is sad that we have to lose is the Tribute to Urborg. But beyond that, I think we're fine. We ended up with 10 spells, so we did well in that last pack after pivoting late. So, got some mediocre 2s here in Steel Crusher and Thrill. That may be just where I make the cut. Everything else looks pretty good overall. I'm not a huge fan of Impede in this deck. If I had more of these 2-drops, I would be. And it's not terrible. I mean, you know, it's going to allow our creatures to get through and stuff. But do I want Academy Wall? Certainly isn't an aggressive card, so maybe not. I don't hate its ability to draw us things and, you know, discard things for the Terror. I think maybe we cut a Picker and an Academy Wall. I mean, you know, sifting through your deck is nice. Certainly. But I think we also want 2-drops. So, yeah. We did, luckily, you know, we only picked up this one duel, but it does let us kick our Battle Hymns and our Geyser. So, you know, we did pretty well, all things considered. I do prefer the Steel Crusher over Picker, yeah. It can attack more effectively on more boards, thanks to Enlist. Also blows up some stuff. They're both pretty mediocre, though. Like, yeah. We're splitting some mediocre hairs there. Although, I think this is better. There are other decks it's better in than this one, but... Alright. Looks solid. I think, you know, our deck was sort of saved by some of the stuff that wheeled in that last pack. I don't think it's an incredible deck, but, you know... Like I said, the lack of the really aggressive 2s makes it so we're kind of a mid-range deck, which, as I discussed, not an amazing place to be in the format. But, you know, okay. This is fine. I mean, I'd like to draw some more lands, but at least we have Essence Scatter for turn 2, and, you know, we'll draw stuff. We have lots of cheap stuff in our deck. That ain't it, though. So I think we're in Diamond Tier 2. Okay, well, we'll just play that. Really good day today gets us to Mythic. I mean, it'd have to be really good, but it would get us there. Yeah. I could bounce it instead. Like, I think if I draw a 4th land, I play the Whelp or the Lookout. And I could Essence Scatter this. Maybe I just do. The annoying thing is it gives them some value later. This is a good example, by the way. If we're up against a deck like this that didn't do anything the first few turns and we're in this deck, we should have done a lot more than we've done. Anyway. Yeah, I think we probably just let this resolve. I'm not that worried about it. Okay, so yeah, we're going to play... Who do we want to play? Which flyer... I mean, the Lookout's better against removal, and it also hits harder without investment, so I think we go for it. Yeah, we're like a, you know, these 2 dragons and the Lookouts and stuff. We're a Skies deck. Might have like Rabid Bite or whatever it's called in this format. Bite down. Okay, so I think they're a defender deck. We saw a Blight Pile in the graveyard too. The good news is... they don't have white mana yet, so the Flyers are pretty good against the defender deck if they don't have the, you know, scary, words. The, Wingmantle Chaplain, yeah. So I think we just play a Whelp. You know, we're not leaving mana up for stuff, but it feels like pressuring them is the right thing to do. They could have a Sweeper, but, you know... it wouldn't be that big of a deal. That's gross. Luckily, they don't have the mana to sack it, so... oh, they may have Bone Splinters, actually. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. So, they get the card selection, they kill our other card. Yeah, that was painful. Okay. Now we have Shore Up as protection. That would have been nice last turn. So they may be getting some stuff back from their graveyard this turn. It's weird to see a 3-color deck with so many basics in play. You don't see a whole lot of that. So I think we're going to go ahead and bounce the Soul Tender. Let's just leave up Essence Scatter. I could just play Battlewing Mystic as a aerial beater too, I suppose. Yeah, that's not bad, actually. Let's just do that. Keep the pressure. It does mean we're not making our Terror cheaper, but, you know, we'll play it later. This lets us leave up Scatter and Shore Up, which I don't hate. So now a Sweeper is a lot less advantageous. Oh, thank God for Essence Scatter. That's the kind of creature that, if it resolves, it's very hard to win. They can get it back in a multitude of ways, probably. So that part's not so good. So I just want to slam this Terror. It doesn't let me leave up Shore Up mana, but... I could Geyser, too. But it seems they have enough of a graveyard theme that I don't think I want to do that. So, yeah. Either way, we're attacking. I think we'll just attack and then play a terror. Hope they don't have another Mossbeard Ancient. They could have Sheoldred's Restoration. This is a pretty sweet thing to reanimate. And now they might be able to kick it even, which would be completely absurd. Let's hope they can. Alright, so they have to spend... It's sad I didn't have shore up mana there, but what are you gonna do? You know? What can I do about it? Okay. So... Going to attack and attack. We haven't done it yet, but we're doing it here. We're going to buff our Whelp. So hit them for 7 here. So, really hope they can't reanimate that Ancient. Basically, we lose if they do. I think we can beat most other things thanks to our protection for our creatures and our bounce spell, but a reanimated... Well, it's not going to be reanimated, technically. But they do gain 2, then they cast it and they gain even more, so... It's basically reanimated. Which is pretty brutal. I might have to use Shore Up here just to untap my creature and block and kill the Soul Tender. This is obviously horrible to bounce. All that life gain. They could have Gaia's Might is what's really gross. Of course, if they have that, I think we're just dead. Green, red, black. Yeah, we're just dead. So, I guess we're going to use Shore Up here. This is a horrible card for our deck to face. We, don't have any way to kill it. You know, we could bounce it. They do have the Might, which would have killed us anyway, so there you go. I did have to block there. They didn't even need to reanimate their Crusher. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to have to bounce something here to have any hope at all. And I guess it has to be this, even though they're going to gain more life. Ugh. Yeah. We're not coming back. Yep, Diamond Tier 2. That was rough. Needed my second Essence Scatter. Or my Shore Up the turn where they tapped out to kill our Serpent, but alas. Does sort of seem like I should have just bounced the 3-1 at some point in that game when I could have. Just because we would have had more life. I mean, the reason I didn't want to was it was clear they were going to do graveyard stuff. But, you know, they did it anyway, so. Alright. Not terrible. But yeah, that big 7/7 is kind of the bane of our existence, because we just have no way to deal with it. Luckily, it's an uncommon. You know, we can bounce things a whole bunch of different ways, but that doesn't help you a whole lot there, as we just saw, so. Okay, it's very similar to our last game, where we just didn't get to play anything early, didn't punish our opponent for also not playing anything early. So, okay. Well, let's play a lookout. You mean the 3-color dragon I opened in pack 3, pick 1? That's, that would have been a tall order. I mean, you're also saying if I didn't go into white early, but yeah. Do I just want to bounce this, or do I want to tap it, or I just have so many options? I guess Frostfist Strider is probably the most assertive of these options. Yeah. Okay, so I think we just attack with both of these. Could be an artillery blast. Hoping it's just like a double block, or just take 7, or a chump block. Those are all the things that I would be happy with. So, they may have a trick here. That wouldn't be great for us. Well, never mind. I could just battle him in response. So it wouldn't be that bad. So I'm leaning towards playing an unkicked amplifier here. Just so I can leave everything up and still have something on the board that's threatening. I mean, I could kick it and bounce the sentry. I suppose. That's not terrible. It's also not great, though. Yeah, so I think we just play an unkicked amplifier here. Makes them worry about a lot of things. Okay, so I guess we try to battle him the sentry here so that our flyer can keep attacking. Yeah. Decent shot they have a trick of some kind, but just because they're everywhere in this format. That is something you have to be very prepared for in this format. The mountain of tricks. I'm sure they have one, it's just a question of whether they want to use it. And they do, especially because it buffs their whole board. It's better to find out this way, you know, where I, yeah. It's definitely better to find out this way. Alright, so this time we're going to kick an amplifier and bounce the sentry. Yeah. Do you have another trick? No. Do I attack into the double block here? Definitely getting in for the 3. I mean, thinning out their board does enable, like, timely interference to do some shenanigans. The only thing is Frostfist Strider is actually pretty good with the interference on that Magnagoth. Yeah, I think we just attack with the lookout. I wish I could have bounced it and had Essence Scatter mana up, because then my flyers can take over the game, but don't think they're going to let us do that. I can get rid of it by... Oh, God. Okay, interesting. I might be able to race, especially because I can counter the creature with reach. So that's kind of cool. The question is whether I want to attack with amplifiers here, because interference can do some pretty real work with them. But probably not. I'm going to need the blockers. So, yeah. So let's rumble with the Lookout. Play the Whelp and leave up Essence Scatter. So we have Lethal in the air. If their plan to not die in the air is play Magnagoth Sentry, we're going to win. If they have some other plan, then we're in trouble. Alright, so let's Essence Scatter. So they have to kill the Dragon Whelp now. Or play another Reach creature, I guess. Okay. Block we will. All right. We were luckily far ahead enough when they played that herd migration. Otherwise, would have been in trouble. Their decision not to play their sentry that turn... I guess I'll use my mastery orbs. Their decision not to play the sentry that turn was good for us. I mean, I don't think they made an incorrect decision because they didn't really know what we had going on. And adding all those bodies to the board was a way to pressure me. But, yeah, I was still... It worked out for us. Apparently I have packs, too. What's that about? Must just be a level up reward. That's my first Leyline binding? Oh, I guess the time I played with one was in the early access event. Anyway... Worked out pretty well there. Still haven't gotten our Defiler. Hopefully it can go off in one game. Okay. It's like we're allergic to drawing our 2-drops, but this hand's fine. Hey, there's a 2-drop. It probably is one we play. It just has so much potential to do damage in the early game. Also, maybe it draws out a counterspell here, which... Or a lightning strike. No? Because just like Geyser attack is like super good. Like, it's such a simple thing. I wonder whether they have shore up, but I think we still go for it with the Geyser. I guess I could, I could just play the Kavu. But I think Geyser attack is pretty good here. No shore up. Another Essence Scatter. Attack for 3. Lookout. Okay, sure is tempting to leave up Essence Scatters, but I think we just play a Kavu. Probably battle him whatever they play, and then Essence Scatter something on our next turn. Whatever the blocker they play, that is. That's annoying. Both of these creatures are creatures that you, like, have to counter. You know, killing them isn't good enough because they have such a strong enter the battlefield effect. So we can kill the Strider, and I guess we probably do. And attack them for 3. I just can't leave up Essence Scatter now, which is sad. Yeah. Okay, so forcing a block is interesting. The 1 blue mana is hurting my soul right now. If I cast Thrill and discard Interference, this will then cost 3? Yes. I might do that. Yeah. Although casting Thrill and Interference is actually kind of powerful. I guess I would discard an Essence Scatter because I could use it to kill the Warbrute with my Amplifier. I have to kick this, obviously. Maybe that's just better. We add less to the board this turn, but... Another red mana. Okay. So, yeah, let's attack. Forces the block. Then we use Thrill of Possibility. I think we actually discard a land. Because we're still trying to find an island. We did it! We did it. We drew the island, and it's actually... And a spell we can cast with that island, so... Works for me. I would block the picker if it came at me. This is limited, so, you know, a good win rate in limited is 60%. It's not that uncommon. Okay. Well. It's not a great attack, but it's not a complete disaster, because if I can bounce one, it's not great, though. Yeah, I think we just play... I guess I could just kill both of them. The downside is, if they then have a trick or something, though. Yeah, that's not great. But we do have a ton of mana, and not that much to do with it. So I'm sort of thinking about attacking, trying to kill them both, and then slamming the Terror, but... Maybe I just slam the Terror. Yeah. Uh-oh. Essence Scatter? No? Alright, so we'll pass. We're probably going to bounce this Lookout, because we need to get ahead in this race, somehow. And if they try to recast it, we can Essence Scatter it, so... No shore up, please. Thank you. Essence Scatter. Okay. So now I do think we rumble with both. I think we try to kill them both. They may be able to zap us, but it's not that bad of a zap. I still get to kill one of them. Maybe it should actually be the picker. Oh, I didn't order them correctly, so I can't. The picker giving them the ability to dig in their library is kind of a problem. Alright. Yep. Luckily we got the whelp too, so all our hopes weren't pinned on that. Oh, hello. So 3, 6, 7. I actually don't think I'm gonna buff it. We're in a position here where I think as long as we can counter any, the creature they play, we're fine. I mean, if I do buff it, I guess it gets us closer to lethal, obviously. But I want to be able to play the Defiler and be able to cast Essence Scatter, ideally. Decisions. Though that does mean I can buff it once, at least. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that. I think that works. Interesting. Do I even want to Essence Scatter that? Yeah, probably. Scry. Well, that's definitely something I would have rather Essence Scattered. They managed to get around, play around it pretty well. So red permanent does let me kill the Mystic. And we did get one, so that's good. We're not going to pay the life. I don't see a reason to. All right. Got there. Okay. I think this is a keep in a world where I can just cycle Timely Interference to find red mana. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh. That is not. Hey, we found red mana anyway. So we need to find a way to kill that pretty soon. We will cycle away Timely Interference here just to take one less damage and draw a card, which, that's always good. Shore Up doesn't do it. Bouncing this later is pretty sweet. Although we may still play this next turn. So I think we play the Steel Crusher, though. Because, once they invest a bunch of mana into it and they have to do it again. But yeah, this is a 1-drop where if you don't have an answer, you're in trouble. We have several cards in our deck that can answer it. But we need to draw them, so. And we don't want to block here, because then they'll just make it a 3-3, so. Which might be what they're doing with their turn anyway. No? Man, that is a nasty thing to mill. Which is, kind of the point. Okay. I think we play Amplifier and leave up Shore Up. I'd like to bounce this and all that, but it does feel like I'm under enough pressure that adding another body to the board makes sense. Although, I could wait till after I play Defiler. Is that greedy? Probably, especially because there's no guarantee my Defiler makes it to the next turn. But that would allow me to ping the Soul Tender, which is nice. But I also don't hate just trading with the Soul Tender. So I think we're going to play the Amplifier. The Amplifier can also threaten to kill the Evolved Sleeper in combat, depending on what they decide to do. Okay. I think I try to trade here. And I think I'd rather trade the Steel Crusher at this point. This does mean they can get back to Cult Conscript, but... I may be cautious and wait to play my Defiler until I have Shore Up mana. It's tempting. Okay. And now I can afford to do it, I think. The only thing is, again, it would be nice to get a ping out of this. There's just too many cards they could have that kill it. Herloon Battle Hymn, etc. And I think if we're going to win this game, we're going to need its power. So I think we just play Dragon Whelp here. Then next turn we can play Defiler with Shore Up mana up. So, yep, it's a 3/3. Now we can start drawing them cards. And eventually get out of range of our removal, though we do still have a bunch of bounce in our deck. So. Okay. That makes me glad that I was cautious. Yep. They can't get the conscript back this turn. So it is kind of tempting to block it. Yeah, I think we will. Okay. So let's play this Defiler. Alright, so then we Shore Up. Do they have another removal spell in response? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Guess I want to play another big creature more than I want to do anything else. The Evolved Sleeper's a real problem, though. I mean, we still haven't drawn our removal for it. Not really intending on blocking it, but yeah, I mean, there's a real problem here. Both of these can get so big that it doesn't matter. Like, this will be a 6/6 if they want it to be. So we're in a really bad position. This is, you know, where the domain decks can overpower you with something like this, where it's just too big in the late game. Not that I don't have ways to deal with it, but they're not currently available. So, so I wonder. I mean, I can't really attack, so I do not think I will. You didn't spoiler yourself because the video's already up on the channel. So let's do this, and maybe they're afraid we have mana up for something. Like, I feel like, sadly, that's the best move we can make, is them to worry that we have, you know, something to get them when we don't. I may block the Lookout, the Root Wallow with my Lookout. If they're just attacking with it, I'm not that scared. I mean, yeah, it's going to hit me hard, and if they have, like, the double strike trick, then it's going to hit me really hard, but, you know, so be it. Okay, that is nice. I kind of wish I could kick it, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So let's go ahead and bounce the Sleeper. Because then they have to do all that work again. Drawing a land is actually pretty good. We're going to attack with Defiler. I'm going to play a Terror. We're going to have to chump block the Root Walla here, and I'd rather do it with the Lookout because maybe it finds me removal. But yeah, I guess if you haven't seen the video, then you've spoiled it, yeah. Suffice it to say, it did not go well. Much worse than last time. Are we about to see some Urborg nonsense? Eh. I mean, I wouldn't love them having 2 Root Wallas, but wouldn't be too busted. So, then make it a 2-2, then make it a 3-3, and then you don't have... That's all it can be, a 3-3 with Death Touch. They don't attack. It's a little interesting. Ooh. So we could try to ping it in response, but obviously they'll use the ability. So now I think we switch to attacking with the Flyer. Obviously. They can make this a 6-6 as a blocker, so... Yeah. So let's attack with our Flyer. Thank you for the follow, King's Deck. What are you going to do 1-2? Me? That's concerning. But yeah, I'm okay with the trade overall. Oh. Essence Scatter's pretty darn good, obviously. We have the mana to cast it, too. I don't think this is an unpleasant format, actually. So, the curse doesn't exist. I think this is a really good format. And I think you're in the extreme minority if you don't think it is. Look, we can kill this now because they tapped out. Wow. That gives us a shot, man. I mean, we still have to contend with this freaking Root Walla. But other than that... We also don't have a Flyer now, so... Yeah, they can get it back, but I think the value of pinging it was good, especially because I can just counter it now. This is not a Bronze to Mythic run. I always start in Platinum 4. I guess I'm lazy. Okay, so they don't actually have the mana to buff the thing here. How aggressive do I get? That's the question. Oh, they have to block. Unless they have removal, because I can swing for 14. So they have to block. I think we go for it. They could have removal. But I think it's our best bet. They do get this back. And then it will be able to attack us for 2. But... let's go for it. I should have paid just to bluff. Oh, yeah, the qualifier didn't go well. That's true. My overall record's pretty good, though, for a format I actually like. I'm usually below 60 on formats I like. Alright, so can they kill us with, like, Gaia's Might on Cult Conscript? That's the question. Looks like the answer is no. I think you probably kill the Defiler if you can kill something. Okay, or not. Just because if I draw a red spell, I kill your Gardener. And I did draw a red spell. So... yeah, they should have killed our Defiler there. They were a little too concerned about Najal, I think. But yeah, I always start at Platinum 4. That's where you start if you're Mythic. And it makes it, you know... I'm trying to qualify for stuff when I can, so yeah. Alright, seems fine. We do struggle to get them 2-drops. I mean, we don't have as many as this deck likes to have, to be fair. Like, you know, we don't have like 2 electrostatic infantries and, you know, the Signpost, the 2-mana 1/3, but, you know. Probably Essence Scatter. No, Shadow Prophecy. Wonder if this is a legit blue-black deck. It actually matches up pretty well against, like, an aggro deck in this format, but it gets completely overwhelmed by the Domain deck, so it's not a great matchup for us, but... okay, don't love that that is the land we drew, but maybe they play something we can kill with our Battle Hymn. We don't really want to kill that, though. Necromass to the yard. That could be useful if they have the big, yeah. Big, worm. Words. Okay, so let's play Dragon Whelp. Another Essence Scatter. Removal's likely. I do like the blue-black deck. I wish it was better. I think both of the Signposts are really cool for black. Blue, that is. Oh, they have another Necromass. And that is not great for us. I will not be blocking that, so I'm going to attack. I guess play another Whelp. Not like that, though. Come on. Come on, Auto Tapper. Your Dragon Whelp comment gets sent to mod revision? I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm going to go with no. Do I block this and use Shore Up? I don't think so. I think we just take the big damage here, unfortunately. We need to draw a bounce, basically. Oh, God. They played both of those when we didn't have Counter Magic up. Not good. I think we're losing this one. So... guess I'm gonna play... why do you... I guess because of Fire Breathing it keeps wanting to make my mana be weird on me. That's not what I want to do. Oh. I have to tap both blue. That's why. It's not Fire Breathing. God. I do not like this situation. Just pass and leave a Battle Hymn? I mean, that's not great. I think we just throw this other body out there and try to trade. I don't know. We're in a very bad position to contend with these two big monsters. We could play our own Terror next turn, maybe? Yeah. So... okay, so we put the spell in the graveyard. Oh, so pretty much... okay, so they're going to kill that too. I think that means we're dead, more or less. I think we actually go to 1, but, you know, pretty much. Yeah. Oh no, we are dead. It almost felt like that was an aggro deck, as fast as the game was. I mean, it wasn't because, you know, neither of us played anything until late, and they just slammed 2 monsters. That's when Herloon Battle Hymn feels a little bit rough. Oh yeah, Take Up the Shield is good. You know, in the set review, I was like, this set has a lot of really good tricks. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. And it is frustrating. It does create a lot more groan moments. I don't think we mulligan with that hand. I mean, we could, but I think going down to 6 would have been more of a problem than what we did. I mean, our hand wasn't terrible. It's just that the way things played out, it was terrible. So, the 1 blue mana is really what got us, because we would have been able to leave up Essence Scatter at times and stuff. Okay. Going first. No blue mana. But we aren't unlikely to draw blue mana. This one's closer to being a mulligan than that last one was, but I do think it's still a keep. You don't ever want these borderline keeps where it's like, well, I'm only missing one thing. But usually, you know, as I've said on the Needs and Notes videos, if your hand only needs one thing, you should probably keep it. And that is where we are. Doesn't always pan out, but going down to 6 is certainly worse. We're going to trade. I think that benefits us, if only because we don't have anything else going on. Man, these last 2 games might be pretty fast. After the first 5, including the ones we lost, were pretty good games, at least. Well, unless that thing is a singleton card in your deck, yeah. If what you need is one thing that you have a lot of, I should clarify, you know, like islands. So we do have a Battle Hymn online now. I mean, maybe somehow our opponent... It looks like maybe their color's screwed. Well, we are too now, I guess. They're probably holding up counter magic, which is, like, Essence Scatter in particular, which is funny because... we can't cast anything. Play something I can battle him, please. Don't play anything I can't battle him. They're probably going to Geyser. Oh, good. I can battle him that. Get out of here. You know, I could have gone more aggressive, I guess, but I'm hoping... Ugh. I was hoping to draw an island. If I'd waited to do it on my turn, they would have taken 2 more damage, but, you know... So if we just draw blue and can Geyser something... Okay, well, so much for Geyser being good. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we had our fun early where our opponent also had mana problems. But now I think it's probably going to get out of hand. Especially now that Raph has joined the party. This is feeling a little bit like it's just one game that feels this way, at least, like the qualifier I played yesterday. Yeah, we're gonna get housed. I do love the blue-white deck. There's a really good chance that they have the, like, pay 1 mana. You know, I guess I'd rather just try to kill the token. Hello, Big Buddha. Big Buddha. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. The Shuffler hates me. Yeah. If by Shuffler you mean luck. Okay, so 5, 7, 9, 11, sure. Ow. Oh, there's the blue mana. You know, playing the Terror is not bad. Is it going to do enough to save us? Unlikely, but I do think it's what we do. The Shuffler is mostly luck-based. The only thing the Shuffler does for you, people, is gives you a better opening hand on average than you would have in Best of One. It only helps you. That's all it does. It helps you. Other than that, it is actually pretty random. You know, people always say computer can't be completely random, all this stuff. It's not really true. Like, most of it is based on misinformation, unsurprisingly. But anyway. I mean, we could Geyser a thing. And I guess that thing would be the 4/4, and then play the Kavu. If we draw an island, we could bounce something else. This sort of thing. We did draw an island. How about that? Okay. If only we'd had these islands earlier. Anyway, obviously, I hate Shuffler talk because it's nonsense. There aren't really any statistics, though. It is a wild rumor. Shuffler truthers, there's no real evidence of anything. Especially on Arena currently. Like, there's some stuff from, like, 2018, maybe, but that was in beta. It's just not as much of a problem. Going first, it has to be 50%, guys. Because there's 2 people. So 50% of the time, 1 person goes first. Anyway. Oh, man. I mean, and luck is a part of Magic. Variance is. Bad stuff happens. You know, it happens to your opponent, it happens to you. That's part of what makes the game interesting. We did somehow survive for a couple turns. I don't know that we're going to make it, though. All players who are on the draw 70% of the time. Anyway. Really, I mean, the only thing it does is the Best of One stuff. Which, you know, like CGB made that video back in the day where he made like a 12-land red deck because Best of One gives you such better hands than you would have in paper. But that's really the only thing. And that can be, I guess you can see that as a problem in the sense that it allows an aggro deck to have an unfair advantage. But, you know, just because our opponent said good game, I'm going to make this game last longer. I think we're dead anyway, actually, but we're going to try not to be. Because they can buff their stuff. Yeah, so I take 4 no matter what. Darn it. Because I can bounce something, but... Oh, well, we're not talking about matchmaking right now. And I do agree that the way they matchmake Historic Brawl makes no sense. We're not talking about matchmaking. We're only talking about the Shuffler. The matchmaking is a separate issue. And it is really weird the way they do it for Constructed, especially. For Limited, I think they do a pretty good job. They don't base it... They base it on your record and your rank, and that's like all. So, okay, we're dead. There's not like this weird power quotient or something like they have in Historic Brawl. And I get why they do it in Brawl, because it's not a bad idea, because different players are differing levels of serious, you know. 3-3 in the end. Not amazing, but, you know. I don't think that deck... I think the ceiling of that deck was probably 5-3, so... Didn't really underperform.